What is up, guys? We are back in the shop, finally gonna get back to work on the Project Mullet, the Camaro. Now this car has a little bit of rust down in all the quarters, front and rear, well, the front and rear on the rear quarter. So we bought some patch panels off the internet and we're gonna get them in there. So for today's video, I'm gonna start just on the front of the passenger side. As you can see, there's some pretty good bubbling down at the bottom, definitely needs replaced. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the entire patch panel because it's pretty, this is all solid up here. So we may end up just cutting a section off the bottom of the patch panel and then just keep doing the bottom part just to retain as much factory steel as possible. To start though, I'm just going to strip all the paint back off of this area to see what I am working with, and we'll see where we go from there. So when you really get into the meat of her, there's really no rust above this line. It's all right here. Let's see. So it's all right there, and then this big hole right here. So what we may do is cut just right above this line and just patch this piece. Because it's totally solid all up here. There's a little bubble there, and that underneath that wasn't any hole. It was just a really small amount of surface rust. So actually not too bad, and then this piece is also pretty solid down on the bottom here. That is literally a rat? Some sort of animal. It's all furry and bony. That's what caused the rust, apparently. Living matter. What is that? Oh, there's the skull. Oh, it's a rodent. Sweet.
I think all the rust in the bed of the Yoda is caused by grass stuck in the bed. You can pull leaves and stuff out of the cracks. Also,
so I cleaned up the steel that sits underneath the outside piece of steel up quite a bit, just with a grinder and some cleaning solution. So now I'm just going to throw a little bit of primer on there. Since that's just going to be raw steel under there, may as well cover it up. I looked up in here, it's all solid inside the panel. No rust up in there, so that's good. So basically all I have to do is coat this, cut out the piece off the patch panel about that size, and then weld it in. Somehow this Camaro knows that I own a Subaru because this Camaro's vaping. So I measured the hole that I cut out on the car, and now I'm going to just do a rough cut out of this panel of what I need. And it doesn't matter that it's a rough cut because I'm cutting it way too big. So I'm gonna cut it big and then take it to the car and slowly grind off enough steel until it fits perfectly in that space, and then we can just butt weld it back together and grind off the welds and be done. So there's the patch panel fitted into place. Went in super easy. As you can see, this bend isn't bent all the way, so what I'm going to do actually is weld it all the way around this seam, and then once I have the strength, I'll bend, like the strength as in the strength of this being in there, I will bend it into place. So it will hold itself in there somewhat. There we go. So Now I gotta go switch the wire around to my welder to my thinner stuff, and then I can start welding this guy on. I have to grind it all off with a grinder with a flap disc until it's smooth, and then when it comes time to do the full body work, we'll put a little skim coat of body filler on it, and it'll make it look perfect. So now I'm just gonna hit it with the grinder and smooth off all these welds. If you noticed, I was doing like a weird welding technique where I was just like tacking it basically. I do that on sheet metal so that it doesn't warp this panel. It keeps the heat out rather than running along bead, and this metal is so thin that it is sort of tough. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience welding thin metal, so I have a hard time doing it without burning through it. Starting to get a little bit darker, but a little bit of work with the grinding wheel, and she's looking a lot better. There's a few pinholes and stuff that need touched up, but it is one solid piece of steel now, and I am pretty happy about that. That was quite simple. These guys in the back, maybe a little bit more work to do because basically all of this is full of Bondo. But that one came out real nice and was super simple. Alright, I'm going to close out the video here because this is as far as I'm going to take the patch panel today, because the rest of the work is going to be more when we're going to do the full body work on the car, because then we'll put the body filler and stuff on it then. But I'm really happy how this came out. Those patch panels, the quarters, honestly, looking back on it, probably wasn't necessary, but they're only like 30 bucks or something a piece, maybe even cheaper, so it's hard to argue with it when it's that cheap. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Watch out, or look out for the next ones where I'm going to be doing, or the next ones on this car where I'm going to be doing the rear. Probably the other side as well. I'll probably just spend a day and knock the rest of them out, since I know they are that simple now. But make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us, and leave me a comment down below and tell me how you think that looks, if you think it looks like garbage or if you dig it. So guys, again, thank you for watching this video. That's going to be it from me. Peace out.